Jeff Williams here with AskJeffWilliams.com. In this video, I'm going to show you how the old timers used to shore up their mines by putting in sets and collar braces, and of course lagging to hold everything up in their drifts and adits. All that and a whole lot more coming up. Now, if this is your first time here and you want to learn how to find gold and be successful at it while learning other gold mining related stuff, start now by subscribing. And don't forget to hit the bell icon too. That way you don't miss anything. And for my regular subscribers, make sure your bell notifications are turned on. That way you don't miss any videos. We got our vent pipe in here, all of our gear, got our skip car down there. Got to start putting timber in. All right, so we're going to be putting these timbers in every 3 feet. Then we'll put lagging in behind that to support this back because it's getting a little unstable. Alright, so our timbers are pre-cut. They're 4 foot long. Here are the caps. The caps are 3 feet long. Alright, now our caps have already got our spreaders on them right here, you see that? And that's going to keep the posts from sliding in on the cap. And we've already cut it at a 5-degree angle, and that matches the 5-degree angle that we got cut on those posts. When you cut your posts, they have to sit at an angle, because remember, they're going to be sitting in just a little bit, and we usually cut ours at a 5-degree angle, sometimes 10, depending on how soft this ground is. Now, the hardest part about putting timber sets in is that they have to fit perfectly. So a lot of times you have to carve out everything so it'll fit, and you gotta compensate for the lagging. Now, another thing I wanna show you is we're starting to get into that red clay that's down here, and there's fine traces of gold in that. So from this post, we're gonna come out 3 feet right here. That's about 3 feet. And of course, this is gonna sit at about a 25-degree angle, which corresponds with the angle of our dip. We're running at about a 25-degree dip on our incline. And it's very important that this is set the proper way, or else it won't have stability. Carve out here, carve out the back, carve one on the other side, and then we'll have to do the same thing 3 feet down over here. And because we're running an incline, Son of Jim, so we're using this all thread right here to bolt the sets together. All right, enough jaw jacking, let's get on with it. So let's get it on. Maestro, a little music if you would, please. Ooh, cause you know how I like to have some of my metal while I'm looking for that metal. Ooh, so you know what I'm gonna say, boy. Oh, you better. So come on, let's go. All right, Son of Jim, we got our first post in. We got it blocked in there. All right, then we come straight across, and we got to put one right here. So we got to carve this out. This is all got to come out of there. So we're going to work on that. Whoever said gold mining was easy Never did drift mining. Alright, son of Jim, what I'm doing is I'm digging a deep pocket for my post to sit in. Because I want that sitting on as hard as ground as possible. If I can't find hard ground, I need to put a footing underneath it to distribute that weight. And if I get down deep enough, I'll set the post on there. That way it has nowhere to sag into the ground. Alright, I got a nice notch right here cut out. I got my pocket right there for my timber. Alright, we got our post in. I got it temporarily sitting in there with rocks. I got a post holding that one in. So all we gotta do is put the cap on up here, make sure everything looks square. Alright, we got our cap in. It's sitting up tight. Looks pretty good. So come on, let's timber. Now let's go, boy. We got our set roughly put in place here. You see that? You see it, boy? Alright, now, to hold this in place, we're going to need collar braces. These are collar braces. You can see them over here. Now, if I was in a stope, and there was a square set timbering, these would be called girts. And the girts run the length of the stope. They're hard to tell because they're usually the same size as the caps and the post. But they're called girts, and there's not as much force put on them as you do on your caps and your posts. All they're doing is holding the entire structure from moving side to side inside of the stope. Collar brace, and it sits in between these two here. It holds the cap in place, and it holds the post in place. And I've got some toe screws holding it in, there and there, and it's holding that cap together and that post. That way all the pressure that's exerted from side to side holds the sets in place. Make sense? Now, because we're dropping an incline in here, this set and wants to fall forward because we got a 20-25 degree dip here. And as you can see, my post is sitting at 90 degrees of my dip. That's very important that these sit 90 degrees, whether you're putting in post or stole. Remember, stoles are the ones that hold the back or the hanging wall off of the footwall. Well, it's very important that they sit 90 degrees of the angle of the dip. It's very important, or else they ain't gonna work if you start to have any rock fall. All right, so you put in your collar braces, and because we have an incline, we're gonna put in what? Hanging bolt that's gonna secure this set with this set. You can see where I'm using all thread here as a hanging bolt to hold the sets together, and then put our lagging in. And our lagging will go here, and it'll prevent the back, which this is the back, from sloughing off and coming down on top of my head. And there's the timber right there for the next set. And you can see where I'm going to have to carve all this out up to here so I can get my collar brace in to fit in there. Alright, so I got my spot carved out right there. It's easy to do because it's really, really soft material. And I'm going to connect this set up with this set using a collar brace, and then of course we'll use a hanging bolt to pull it all together. Alright, we got our two toe screws put in here. I got one in here for the post, now I got to put one in here for the cap. Put pressure on the back to hold it in place. And like I said, we'll put a hanging bolt here to pull these two together to put pressure on this collar brace because this guy's sitting at such a steep angle. Now our lagging will go here and then we'll backfill behind it. We'll do the bottom first and work our way up. When you backfill it, it's gonna push this post up against this cap here on the spreader and lock everything in. Now if we didn't have any lagging here, you'd have to put a block back here to push everything together. Wedge it in tight. Usually in your hard rock mines you'll see that. But here, since we're working in such soft dirt, we're gonna put lagging across the ribs here, backfill, and across the back here, of course. And then we'll go down and we'll use that and we'll put in another set there. And then we'll dig a little further, put in another set until the ground gets solid enough to where I feel comfortable working underneath it. It's mighty cold up on the surface right now, Sonny Jim. Like 35, 40 degrees. You want to know what it is down here, boy? Take a look at this. That's right. It's about 70 degrees down here. Isn't that nice? It's actually a little humid down here because all these clay seams. You see these clay seams right in there? They got tons and tons of gypsum crystals in there. That's when there used to be an inland sea here at one time. And then all that water evaporated and the crystals began to precipitate out in the clay seams. You see that a lot with like amethyst and smoky quartz. Well, here we get what? We get desert rose. And basically that's just the structure that the gypsum crystals create when they start to precipitate out of this clay seam. And I've showed you that before, you know that. And of course the gold is down here in this gravel zone, but most heavily back there in that caliche pocket. Ooh, and don't forget about the cave system. I know it dips down real deep. Ooh, and I can hear water down there too, boy. Now I know this is a short video, but a lot of you wanted to know what the heck was going on, what happened to me and Slim. Well, I've been down here timbering, boy, trying to push that drift a little bit further. Ooh, because Slim says there's nuggets the size of your fist on the other end of that drift. All right, so I just wanted to wish everybody out there a very golden Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Don't worry, I'll be back before then. I hope. Slim's got me down here working like a dog. And hopefully next time you see me down here, we'll be down into that old river channel, getting those big nuggets out. So, all right, well, till next time, this is Jeff Williams, and you know who. Ooh, you better know who, boy. Saying you want to lose weight, but you don't want to go to the gym? Come down here and do some drift mining. Working for that old man, Slim. Take care, everybody.
Greasy black peel. Just face the music, you're a monster, Mr. Grinch. Your heart's an empty hole. Your brain is full of spiders. You got garlic in your soul, Mr. Grinch. I wouldn't touch you with a 39.5-foot pole. You're about one, Mr. Gray.